Sometimes I miss the days where everything I ate was ready to go and I could just grab it out of the fridge and pop it in the microwave, but I didn't feel good back then, so in that sense, I never miss it for a minute. But on days like today where I just got done working out and went to get myself a salad and realized I don't have any salad dressing that's ready because I sent it all to work with my husband this morning, I've got to whip up a batch real quick before I can have my lunch. So I thought I'd show you how quick and easy it is to make your own salad dressing at home. There's no need to buy any from the grocery store ever again. It's all full of additives. Even the healthiest looking dressing at a natural food store, most of them have things like xanthan gum and other thickeners or stabilizers in them. You're just as well to make your own. So here's a quick little recipe. I bet it's going to take less than 5 minutes. And all we need here is I'm putting in 2 cups of organic olive oil. And I don't know if you can tell this on camera, it looks like I'm using a dirty measuring cup. That's because I'm actually making 2 batches and I already made the first and that dirtied my measuring cup. So don't be afraid to eat at my house. My dishes are clean. I'm just making my second batch in a row here. And a cup of apple cider vinegar, and I have Bragg brand raw, organic, unfiltered apple cider vinegar here, and I just ran out, so I need to grab another bottle out of the pantry. Shake it up a little here. So that was 2 cups of olive oil, and now I'm finishing off a cup of apple cider vinegar. There we go. Then, 1/4 of a cup of raw honey. I've got this big gallon jug here because we get our raw honey in bulk since it's kind of expensive. And if you're not sure where to do that, there's a few things you can do. One, look in a local store, local health store for some raw honey. Look at the brand name and contact the store directly. You might be able to buy it in bulk from them. Or often you'll find a raw honey vendor at your local farmer's market, and often you can buy in bulk directly from them, or some of the farmers that happen to sell other products may also sell raw honey at the farmer's market, and you can get it from them. Alright, so we've got our honey, our olive oil, and our apple cider vinegar. Then we're going to add a tablespoon of garlic granules. This is just dried up garlic. A tablespoon of this. Alright, garlic granules. A lot of times you'll see it written as garlic powder. I'm not sure how well this will show up on camera, but it's about the consistency of salt. Sometimes it'll be called garlic powder, even though it's really granulated garlic. Just look through and make sure through the side of the container that it's about the consistency of salt as opposed to the consistency of flour. Otherwise that would be garlic powder, and you need to use it a different amount. I believe it's about half as much. So if you can only find the powder that's the consistency of garlic, or the powder that's the consistency of flour, add half as much at a half a tablespoon. Then I'm putting in some dried organic oregano leaves, a tablespoon of oregano. So that's the same amount as the garlic. And then 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, 2 teaspoons of a good quality salt. And lastly, a teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper, and I have this fancy little battery powered pepper mill here. But it takes a little bit to grind up an entire teaspoonful. So far this has taken about 3 minutes, so I'd say it probably takes a total of 5 minutes by the time you actually get everything out of the cupboard, which I already had done for me since I had just made another batch. And we're going to whisk this up, and then what I always do is save my empty bottles from my olive oils, so when this is gone I'll save the bottle, or from my apple cider vinegar. This works really well too. And I have an empty olive oil container from before that I'm just going to funnel this into. And as far as these dry ingredients, these don't have to be exact, and you can play with them and add different herbs and spices if you'd like. I'm just making an Italian dressing here, so I used oregano. That wasn't quite a teaspoon of black pepper. It really doesn't matter. I'm not going to mess with it. Alright, and I find it easiest to stick a funnel in there so I don't spill it everywhere. And the raw honey, unlike pasteurized heated honey that you usually find in those little teddy bear squeeze bottles, it will actually turn kind of solid when it's cold, so I really kind of got to break this up a little bit with my whisk, otherwise it will clog up my funnel. You may have seen when I put it in there, I had to kind of use my finger to scoop it out. It's more scoopable than pourable, or squeezable, if you will. Alright, so here we go. This makes about, well, a little less than 32 ounces of dressing, but my olive oil bottles that I have here happen to be really huge. They're 51 ounces, so this size of a batch of dressing will easily fit into a 32 ounce bottle, which is what many bottles are. That's what these apple cider vinegar bottles are, so you don't have to use this gargantuous of a container. But it's free because it's what my olive oil comes in, so it's what I use. Alright, so that's it. If I'm not going to be using it very often, I keep it in the fridge, but honestly, we pretty much eat salad every day, so I just leave this on the counter for a week or two until it's gone and make another batch. But today I made 2, so I'm going to stick one in the fridge. I don't know how long they're good for. Honey's a bit of a natural preservative, and there's really nothing in here that can't be left out on the counter, so I don't really worry about it, but you might want to look into food safety issues on your own.